Hey, this is Dr. B, and let's talk about AIDS. This stands for the Acquired Immune Deficiency Syndrome, which was first diagnosed in 1981. It's due to an RNA-based virus, meaning a retrovirus, and it's transmitted through mucus, semen, and blood, but notably not transferred through saliva. In 2018, it was determined that the number of affected people is perhaps as high as 37 million. Got a couple graphs here. This one shows us that it is unevenly divided worldwide, where the vast majority are in the sub-Saharan Africa. Note that it was always the case, perhaps, that there was the majority, but it's gotten worse over time. This may have to do with education. It may also definitely have something to do with the high cost of the medication. How does it work? Well, it attacks white blood cells. Specifically, it attacks the CD4 plus T cells. As you might guess, this stuff has been studied to death. These cells are an important part of our immune system, which means that this is not like the common cold. When this renders the host inactive, your immune system is severely compromised. So it's serious stuff. You need to come up with an antiretroviral. And starting soon after this was diagnosed, the antiretroviral research began. And they eventually located the HIV enzyme, reverse transcriptase. So this is a viral enzyme not present in the human system. If you can selectively target that, you may be able to render the virus inactive without affecting the host, meaning you. And this first drug to be approved was AZT. And let's have a quick look at the chemical structure here. Relatively small, so it's not food. Relatively hydrophilic here and here, NHs and OHs. Complex, fairly complex. I see at least a couple of 3 perhaps chiral centers. And wow, this is a rare functional group known as an azide, sometimes pronounced an azide, which is considered by chemists to be an extremely reactive species. So that would be a pretty strong active substance, which I think you're going to need. Through the help of this substance, which by the way was discovered by combinatorial methods rather than rational methods. I once attended a conference where they talked about, I believe it was Abbott Labs, attempted to make this through understanding the receptor and finding a substance that would fit it, and all sorts of surprises crept in, whereas the combinatorial, more randomized methods seem to be more successful. And typical medications now involve this as well as some other antivirals, maybe 1 or 2 others taken as a cocktail, and this is largely very effective. Look at how the reduction in the numbers of cases over time. But it might cost about $1,000 a month, which is an expensive treatment and not something that everybody can afford. This is an introduction to AIDS.